What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Off the Top Rope, Off the Mic Sports Network. AEW is going to make a lot of news with the obvious, big seismic, and expected events that happened on Friday Night SmackDown with AJ Lee returning to WWE to back up her husband, CM Punk, against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This was expected. This had been, highly speculated upon and highly, fantasy booked to death since Becky Lynch got involved in the World Heavyweight Championship match at Clash in Paris. And, WWE is going all out. See, I said that, and that was totally by accident, by the way. That was not a shot at AEW. They're going all out to bury All Out against with their WrestlePalooza show on ESPN coming up September 20th. So, I mean, it is what it is. But before all this went down, on Friday morning, Bully Ray, he's a WWE Hall of Famer, obviously is involved with the show LFG, but he's also a radio host for Busted Open. I've actually worked with Bully. Interesting guy. A lot of knowledge in, like I said, like people can think what they want, but this guy has had a career in professional wrestling. He's allowed to have an opinion. He's paid to talk about this. Yes, obviously he's doing stuff with WWE, but still, this is coming from a place like he has been also complimentary of AEW as well. But he had this to say on his social media on Friday morning. He said, "Unfortunate, but AEW as a product is lost. There's certainly some bright spots, talent, but as a company lacks definitive direction. It is what it is. A company owned and operated by a fan with lots of money. TK, good guy, good heart, not a booker, and the boys know it." So I'll say this. There is absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with what Bully Ray said. There's nothing wrong with what he said. He was objectively giving his opinion, not as a WWE Hall of Famer. This was Bully Ray, the wrestling analyst who is on Busted Open and on, Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 on SiriusXM. A guy that I've worked with, okay? His opinion, whether you want to agree with it or not, it's qualified and it comes from a place of love. He loves wrestling, okay? The guy is a professional wrestler. The guy has been in this industry for 25, 30 years, maybe even longer than that. This guy has been doing it since the 90s. This guy has been doing it for a long time, whether you like him or not, and he can be a very divisive personality within the wrestling space. This was coming from a place of, hey, I'm trying to state the facts, and maybe somebody out there will listen and potentially maybe fix it, because he's seeing the same things that a lot of people in the fan base are. And Ricochet, like, listen, guy says 100% disagree with you. He was just barking at other people on social media who basically dared to disagree with him. One guy basically said the product that basically how is it lost? He said it's not another Roman Seth and Ricochet. Listen, and then another piece of this, MJF was making Anthony Bennett analogies, which was really interesting, as I'm a Cavs fan, as you guys know. So, this is the problem with AEW. This is the problem with AEW. Anybody who speaks out against them, whether it's from a place of animosity or whether it's just a wrestling personality who is just, speaking their mind, and a guy who's been in the industry for as long as Bully Ray has, I think is more than qualified to talk about what he wants to talk about. Some of his opinions you may not agree with. Some of his opinions I don't agree with. But anybody with eyeballs could see that something is not right, has been off with that place for years. They had 900 people at the 2300 arena for their fourth, I can't even remember how many shows they've done there. There's no direction. There is no juice to that place. You have a show on September 20th that you've had basically booked for 3-4 months, and you allowed a WWE show to come in on basically 3 weeks' notice and bully you out of your spot. and you moved up 5 hours. And now they have brought back a returning AJ Lee with her husband CM Punk, who returned to your place literally on this day 7 years ago to return to the ring. And around this time, literally, a few weeks ago, 4 years ago, returned to professional wrestling after 7 years away. And now all that's in the other place. And anytime that there is any form of criticism that is, out there in the open that, dares to, potentially say, hey, maybe you guys should do something different. Everybody's like, oh, everything's fine. How is it fine? How is it everything fine? Tell me. Somebody tell me in the comments of these videos that I do. How is everything fine in AEW? You just had less than 500,000 people watching, and you finished near the bottom half of the top 10 on cable on Wednesday. No NFL, no college football, just U.S. Open tennis and, some cartoons and stuff, reruns of Family Guy, Beavis and Butthead, all this other shit. That's what's beating you. You're supposed to be the second promotion. And at some point, and yes, some people tell me in the comments, they were never going to be number one. They probably never were. But they were trying to market themselves as like a legitimate alternative, and they were bringing in people like a CM Punk to potentially, push the envelope. And how far has this company sunk in the last 4 years to basically, like, you've got Ricochet, who's clearly getting paid a lot of money and is just a loudmouth who, listen, if you want to disagree, like, but what's your basis of that everything's okay? What did Bully Ray say that was wrong there? You're mad that he said the boys know it? Maybe he is kind of stretching the truth on that, but tell me if there's anything in that locker room that tells you honestly that everything's fine there and that everything's good. When there's no storyline direction, there's no juice to anything, there's no life, there's no consistency. And that being said, WWE is not much better with some of their storylines and some of their writing and some of the stuff that's been going on their television. They just have the beauty of, hey, we have a lot of faith from our audience, even though some of them are really mad with, some of the decisions that they've made. But still, people are showing up. They had almost 17,000 people in Chicago on a September 5th night going head-to-head with an NFL football game. Most of that show outside of AJ Lee and John Cena was not good. But Bully Ray's the bad guy for basically trying to speak the truth. Guys, take your glasses off and realize that this isn't Bully Ray, the LFG guy, or the WWE Hall of Famer. He is not getting paid by WWE to have these opinions and bury people, okay? This is a guy who is paid by SiriusXM to go on Busted Open, to go on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, Busted Open After Dark, do all these shows, and basically share his opinion and share his thoughts about what is going on in the world of professional wrestling. And right now, there is nothing wrong that what he said on social media on Friday. Zero was wrong with what he had to say. I don't know what the problem is. The sooner that AEW people start to realize that their company is a sinking ship, they'll maybe be able to fix things. But I think it's too little too late. And this moment right here on Friday night with AJ Lee made them look so small. You want to know why? Because they could have had that. They had CM Punk. And they let the whole problem fester. They didn't control the narrative. They didn't control the situation. They had to fire him. And look what happened. He's gone to the other place, and he is burying them right now. And anybody who doesn't realize that and just wants to say, this is where the best wrestle, this is the best company in the world. If it really was, then the metrics would show differently. And they don't. They don't. 900 people for Dynamite the last couple of weeks. Lowest rating that they've ever done. Something is clearly not right. The ratings have been going down for years now. The sooner you guys get that through your thick skulls, then maybe something will change. But they're not going to change anything. And this company is going to die a slow death. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.